So Joe Biden is in a argument again with Senator Rick Scott of Florida. Biden says Scott has a problem. I don't disagree with that. Rick Scott, it was head of HCA, got the largest Medicaid scandal ever and became rich off of it. But he's who we elected to be our senator. Rick Scott says Joe Biden should resign because he's mentally incompetent. I think Rick Scott's closer to the truth than Joe Biden is. I'm just telling you that. But what I really took exception was, as Biden is up lambasting Rick Scott and saying he wants to tax people and everything, Joe Biden says, man, let me tell you. First off, he talked about inflation. He goes, I can tell you're hurting, America. I can taste it. What? You can taste inflation? Okay. Maybe Rick Scott's closer to the point now. But what I took exception with yesterday is, look, it's well documented that I believe former President Donald Trump did some great things with trade and with making people pay bills that they should have been paying for years. NATO. He did great things with trade by slapping China upside the head, making China, succumb to the fact that they were no longer going to flood American markets with cheap materials and make lots of money off of it while American companies were fledgling. Did I like everything the former president did? No, I'm well documented saying some of the things the president did aggravated me. But what he did to me, what he did to trade and what he did to things like NATO far outweighed the negatives for me. And he had a moniker. And I didn't agree with his moniker, Make America Great Again. I just thought we should continue to make America great. But I understand Make America Great Again. He was talking about the recession and everything and how it had fallen on hard times through the housing market and through the Obama administration if you didn't think his policies were good. I get what MAGA means. But Make America Great, Joe Biden doesn't like that. He says those MAGA people, they're going to be the destruction of this country. How are people whose desires to make America great going to be the destruction? And Joe Biden, let me ask you this question there, President Biden. What's wrong with making America great? What's wrong? I'm always reminded when somebody says, oh, make America great people, I'm always reminded that Donald Trump had a very good point when he said make America great again. And I'm always reminded of the speech that Jeff Daniels gives at the opening of the Newsroom, the HBO show that was on for 3 years. When they ask him, what is it that makes America the greatest country in the world? He goes, we're not the greatest country in the world. He says we're 17th in math, we're 33rd, and he goes through this whole list. He goes, but we used to be. What's wrong with wanting to be the greatest country in the world? What's wrong with wanting to be great? Tell me one bad thing about a desire to be great. Tom, if you're great, that means other people aren't as great as you, and that could offend. So they want to be great. Tell them to work their ass off. Get to be great. I'm tired of people thinking that trying to achieve greatness is a bad thing. I try to give you the best and greatest radio show I can give you every day. I fail miserably at it, but I try. Would you want me to come in and say, hey, folks, my whole desire with this radio show is just to give you as mediocre a product as I can give you. I don't want to give you a great product. I want to give you just a mediocre product. Do you know how quick my sales staff, the sales staff of this radio station would go to the owners of this radio station and say, hey, you got to get that moron off the radio because we can't sell mediocrity. We can't sell to the general public of Ocala and Marion County that we're just going to be mediocre. Well, we're not going to be great. We're just going to be an average station. You know how quick the sales staff would come in and say, you got to get that idiot off the radio. I know I would if I was a salesperson. So you try to be great. What's wrong with wanting to be great? What's wrong with wanting to finish first? Tom, if you finish first, then there are people behind you. Yeah, second place, first loser. Big deal. So I take exception to President Biden when he says there's something wrong with making America great. There should never, let me use the word never, all caps, be a time where greatness is a bad thing. The American dream, that is greatness personified. What's wrong with wanting to achieve the American dream? What's wrong with making America great? Oh, yeah, that's right. Nothing. And yet we're vilified if we say publicly we want to make America great. How about I just smack the hell out of you if you come up to me and say, I don't like America? How about that? There we go. Because that's basically what the Democrats and the liberals are doing to us, is they're verbally smacking us because we say make America great. Oh, you're an isolationist. Oh, you're a nationalist. You're fascist. Oh, that's a racist comment, make America. Shut up. It's none of the kind. And I really love the people, if you're a nationalist, you're a fascist. You know, actually go look up words that you use, find out what the hell they mean. Time for birthdays. As soon as my computer's working. Birthdays today. Let me see, where are the birthdays today? Right here, Frances Fisher. She's 70 today. Former MTV VJ Martha Quinn. Wow, I'm old because Martha Quinn, I remember her as a teenager. She's 63. Tim Blake Nelson, who was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, 58 today. Kobe Bell from Walker and Burn Notice is 47 today. Happened on this day in history. 1924, Mercedes-Benz is formed by Gottlieb Daimler and Carl Benz, merging the two companies. That happened on this day in history, 1924. Hey, talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll be in a better mood then.
W242 CAFM, Ocala, the source.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Inflation eased slightly in April to an 8.3 annual rate, declining for the first time in 8 months as energy prices moderated. The Consumer Price Index adding that if food and energy prices are removed, the CPI jumped 6.2%. That's slightly higher than expectations. The Fed Reserve is aiming to fight inflation through interest rate hikes. Just last week, the target range for the federal funds rate was raised by 50 basis points. Senate Democrats are lining up a vote today on an abortion bill that would make abortion legal up until birth. Republicans